Captain Rex stood outside of the escape pod that had shuttled him down to a planet's surface just a while before. His locator told him it was Kuat. That meant Imperial territory. He would have to be careful. He started by building a small fire to keep himself warm. He worried that it could be a while before he was found, but the stars above him were rather comforting. He knew that somewhere above him, his clone brothers were up there searching for him. Back in Rico's office on Naboo, Rico spoke with a 501st Legion sergeant about their current situation after the recent battle. So, after the battle ended and Captain 55 was brought on board the LAAT gunship, we managed to make it back to the base. The capital ship was long lost, and 55 is still unconscious from his head wound. Worst of all, Captain Rex is still missing in action as well. His comlink says he's somewhere on the planet of Kuat, but his exact coordinates are not appearing. Thank you for the briefing, Sergeant. I'm honestly surprised any of you made it out of there alive. Quick thinking from Rex and 55 clearly saved the day from complete ruin. It's a good thing that the core of the 501st Legion wasn't lost in the battle, or else it would set us back tremendously. Now please go and find Commander Racket and bring him to me. I have some things I must discuss. Right away, sir. Rico waited, staring outside the window of his office. He felt like something had shifted in the space around him. The tiny part of him that he had sometimes dreamed could almost feel the Force had changed, and it terrified him. Sir? Racket was standing behind him. Ah, yes, Racket. Sorry, I was just spacing out there for a moment. What else is new, Rico? You've been pondering things mysteriously at that window for years now. Ah, yeah. Well, it helps. Now, have you been given the latest status report? Yes, I was briefed earlier. Do we have an active plan, though? Well, it turns out I've actually got an old acquaintance who lives on Kuwait. He's a bit of a scoundrel, but if anyone knows about an escape pod crash landing there, it would be him. Now, I have another assignment for you, though. The whole war cannot stop just because Rex is missing, no matter how much I'd like it to. I need you to establish a network of spies in the Empire. I know we've dabbled a bit in spying earlier, but I think information is key. Knowledge wins wars. Very well, sir. But do you mind if I use Flashpoint to help me out? Ah, sure. He needs to get back into the field anyway. He's been driving me mad on the ship. He hasn't done anything since his victory on Naboo. Later that day, Rico went to a meeting point in a small village where he was to find his informant. The man was a smuggler by the name of Apollo. He hadn't shown for some time, but then a man in Mandalorian armor walked up to Rico. Apollo? Is that you in that ridiculous getup?
Rico! It's been a while. When's the last time we met up?
Well, at least since you stole from the Republic's armory in the Ryloth campaign. I didn't remember you having such a fondness for Mandalorians, though.
Ah, yes. Well, as you know, I made some money double dealing to multiple Mandalorian tribes, and once they figured that out, I was on the most wanted list for both sides. So the next poor fellow who approached me for prize money wasn't quite quick enough on the draw. After that, I grabbed his armor and suddenly Mandalorian stopped suspecting me.
Yeah, funny how that works, Rico said, amused by this old renegade's stories. But a bit back down to business here. I need you to find out about a crash-landed escape pod of ours on Kuat. A person of great importance was upon it.
Ah, yes, the canteen was buzzing the other day about the battle around the planet. Space debris had been falling all day. I can look into it and get back to you in about a day or so.
Thanks, Apollo. You will be rewarded if you can get this man back to us. Well, in one piece, that is. Apollo went back to his fighter and stood there for a minute contemplating his options. He had, in fact, already found this escape pod Rico was talking about. The other day, he had been going from crash site to crash site looking for valuable parts in the wreckage when he chanced upon a clone sitting before a fire. He watched from afar. It was clearly Captain Rex. He dared not approach him. The man was notoriously a dangerous warrior, after all. Apollo boarded his ship and plugged in the coordinates of his next destination in the navicomputer. Back in Rico's Brigade territory, Flashpoint met with Racket. Flashpoint, I want you to help me train a new intelligence wing in Rico's Brigade. I think your history in the 91st Reconnaissance Legion will come in handy with this. Yes, sir. I would love to help. It's been a long time since I've utilized my skill set. Very good. I will get some recruits together and we can go to work promptly. Light years away, Apollo stood before Commander Cody.
Commander Cody, it's a pleasure to meet again. I think I have some information that could be of some service to you.
What is it that you want, smuggler?
Alright, no need to use that term so negatively, Commander. It's just a job after all.
Can we just get on with this? I've got places to be.
Right. Well, I happen to know the location of a stranded Rico's Brigade leader. I believe you know him as Captain Rex.
I'm interested. Keep going.
Well, for the right price, I can deliver you straight to him. On top of that, for just a little extra, I can lure Rico himself your way.
Well, I've never liked your style, Apollo, but you certainly show results. We will pay whatever is necessary, just make it happen. Apollo returned to his fighter where he called on Rico's holocron.
Rico, I've sent you your lost escape pod's coordinates on Kawat. Wire me the money now. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Apollo. I owe you for this one. Next time you're around Naboo, I'll treat you to a drink. Rico's holocron disappeared, leaving Apollo standing there. He felt guilty, which was odd for him. Maybe his old age was getting to him.
Blast it.
He said to himself. Apollo got into his ship and programmed his personal army of assassin droids to move towards the site of the ambush. He then tried contacting Rico again, but it was too late. The holocron channel had been shut down and was no longer responsive. He couldn't get word to him. He used an old smuggler's coding system to send a typed message to Rico's capital ship. He just hoped that it would reach Rico in time. With that, he could go back to his bars and relax. His conscience was clear once more. On the planet of Kuwat, Rico had landed in the designated position and was disembarking his troopers. He made sure that they were prepared. They were in enemy territory after all. But he had brought a light number of soldiers. The plan was to slip in and out before the Empire could respond at all. Suddenly, a space battle broke out in the orbit above them. Rico's ships were under full attack from an enemy fleet. A clone sergeant approached Rico. "Sir, it seems like our ships have been encircled and attacked. They were attempting retreat now. Additionally, a coded message has come in." "Well, what's it say?" Rico demanded, exasperated. "Empire, gotten to Rex, ambush ahead, assassin droids friendly." It was sent from a code name called Pixelated. Blast! That's Apollo's alias. The intel is accurate. Ready the men and get the gunships prepped for evac. Make sure the forces that have gone ahead turn around immediately. No exceptions. This battle is about to get rocky. Suddenly, a massive barrage took out all the clone trooper LAAT gunships. There would be no turning back. Hey guys, what's going on? It's ya boy, Daily Tactics here, and I am back with a little bit more of Star Wars Rico's Brigade. Now, before this episode begins, I want to say a huge thank you to Pixelated Apollo for doing some voice acting for this episode. You have no idea how awesome that was to be a longtime fan of his content and his channel, and years of viewing it into him being in one of my videos. Thank you so much, man. He did a wonderful job, and I just sincerely wanted to say thank you, and check out his channel in the description below if you want to check it out. I'm sure a lot of you have previously, because it's awesome. Regardless, we are here, and Rico has landed on Kuwat, where he has his army sort of spread out, moving forward because they're going to go and find where Rex's escape pod was. However, after a betrayal from Apollo, the smuggler, the Empire got to Rex first and has taken him prisoner. And they've sent a force of these Utapau stormtroopers to go and deal with the remainder of Rico's brigade who touched down. And before Rico could call an evacuation, an orbital strike hit the LAATs and completely destroyed them. So Rico and his troopers are going to have to hold out on this planet on their own for a little bit here. And you'll notice that these are actually Rico's own private army here, the blue troopers, which we've seen in multiple previous episodes. But this is a pretty well set up ambush by the Imperials. They've got their main force over here that is going to be marching forward through the canyon, eliminating any clones they see. And then they've got dudes on the canyon walls here and there, behind fortifications, ready to ambush from the side. And these guys go all along the canyon walls here, and even a few down on the rocks down here as well. So Rico's brigade is going to come under a lot of fire very, very quickly. But they do have one distinct advantage, and that is that Apollo, after having a change of heart from betraying his longtime friend, he sent forth an army of his own personal assassin droids here. He sent them forward to basically help out Rico's brigade any way he could and just sort of clear his conscience. I'm sure he wasn't super beat up about it. He is a sort of a smuggler, and a pirate, so he doesn't have too much of a conscience, obviously, but there was enough there that he decided to lend whatever support he could to Rico. So he's got 64 of these assassin droids who he managed to smuggle through this little secret passageway here behind the Imperial lines, so they will be attacking the Imperials simultaneously while Rico's brigade attacks. Regardless, I've been doing a lot of talking. I really hope you enjoyed the remainder of the video. Be sure to follow me on all my social media channels in the description below, and without further ado, I will be right back and we will get this started. Alright, you bad Larrys, I think we are ready to roll here. I'm going to put it into slow motion here for just the very beginning because there's a lot of moving parts to this battle, and I want to be able to try and see if we can see as much of it as possible. So obviously we're going to start over here and watch this unfold because this is the main part of the battle, so we'll press start. And we see the Imperials sort of walking forward a little bit, but they notice the assassin droids back here, and they sort of become engaged with these guys a little bit. A bunch of Imperials going down as the assassin droids just sort of take them by surprise here. Not a lot of assassin droids going down. In fact, I only see like 1 or 2 dying compared to like 12 or 13 Imperial forces going down very, very early. And then on this side over here, the Imperials actually are themselves caught in a bit of a sandwich between Rico's brigade troopers and their own troopers here. So this ambush, it's like there's 2 ambushes going on. It's like the Imperials are getting ambushed by assassin droids in the back here, who are quickly dying out, by the way. These guys don't have much longer to live, but I mean, they serve their purpose. And then there's the second ambush of the Imperials onto Rico's brigade troopers. We can see the guys up top here are doing quite well. They're spraying down some of Rico's brigade troopers below. These guys up here doing the same. They're taking a few losses and stuff, and there's a bit of a battle going on over here. They're managing to actually wipe out a good number of Rico's brigade troopers, though. Yeah, Rico's probably not too happy seeing sort of this progression happening. Rico did manage to set up a very, very tiny defensive position before the battle started over here. He does have 2 of these MITR chain gunners on the battlefield, one on the left flank, one on the right flank over here. They both have very, very little health because I wanted to make it so if I was going to have chain gunners on the battlefield, they would have as little health as possible. So those guys have like 10 health, 1 shot will kill them, but they do have a chain gun, so I mean that's pretty flippin' OP. Lots of Rico's brigade troopers on the outside here, really getting gunned down pretty bad. These guys over here are actually starting to call a bit of a retreat, and as you know, I am allowed to control Rico's brigade troopers because this is Rico's brigade, and that's sort of the rule that goes with the series, but I don't see much of a need to control quite yet. All of these assassin droids over here are dead. Let's check out how many kills they end up getting. So red right here is the dead Imperials. They did end up getting like 30 kills or so. Of course, inevitably they were overwhelmed by the numbers there, but that's okay. I do think we should start retreating our troopers back here and getting into a bit more of a final stand location, because I do think that's what this is sort of going to result into here. Let's go into normal speed as well, by the way. These guys are all chilling back here, which is good to see. I think we could set up maybe some troopers on these rocks here. If these guys would stop like running around and stuff, maybe if they solidified their fire a little bit, they could actually eliminate the guys, the enemy stormtroopers on the rocks. These guys back here should definitely be killable. They're not even in that good of a position, so if we sort of manipulate it so our troopers are actually in better positions, I think we could do pretty well here. So we're just retreating a few troopers here. Most of these guys are on the retreat as it is. I think maybe we leave 1 squad up front here and off to the side here to try and eliminate some of these Imperials while we retreat the rest of the troopers. And that will just sort of, give us a little bit of time to get out of here because we're going to need that time, I have a feeling. So we're just pulling all of our troopers back to Rico's brigade. The majority of the Imperials are still sort of looking around here, seeing if there's any more assassin droids, but soon enough they'll be joining the rest of their troopers who are marching forward over here, so we don't have a ton of time to get out of here. These guys who are way up here, it seems like, oh, there's actually like a side path we can go up this way. You know what? why don't we have a little side mission here and send some troopers up this way to kill these guys who were up on this canyon flanking us, because if we could kill these guys outright, then they will stop giving us trouble, and that would be very, very nice. We should also have a few troopers positioned here and just start skirmishing with these guys on top of the canyon, because again, while we're retreating troopers, these guys are just sort of picking us off one by one, and we can in fact see it happening over here. You guys just need to get the kills on those guys. So if we can stop these little side flanks from happening, then we'll be in a much better position, I think, to survive this battle, because as it is right now, we are heavily outnumbered, so we're going to need to get every trooper we possibly can to the back lines for this final defense, and at the moment, it's not happening too much because of these flankers up here and there. So yes, we did get these guys up on the canyon over here. Looks like we've taken out a good number of Imperials. Actually, we could even station these guys up here for the battle when the Imperials do end up coming around here, and then they can just sort of gun them down as they make that turn around the bend there. But there are still a few more Imperials up here. Specifically, there's a sniper and a machine gunner right here. I think we might be able to get the drop on them, though. Our soldiers are sort of running up behind them right now. Let's see if we can't do this. Kapooya! Oh, no, okay. Those guys took us out real quick. You know what? The better strategy is to just stay behind these rocks, and we'll just grenade them. That'll work better. Seems like the majority of the guys behind these canyon walls over here are dead for the most part. There's one trooper up there. Really? They shot him from there? Okay. I am not having the best luck with this guy over here. Come on. Alright, maybe stay behind this thing, sort of. Yeah, yam that over there. That might do it. There we go. Okay, cool. And then there's one more trooper over here. So we can move that way. It looks like the Imperials are starting to round the bend over here. Keep the retreat going, guys. Keep it going if you can. Yeah, a lot of the guys getting sort of backed up into our canyon over here. We'll just try and retreat them the best we can. Yeah, you guys seem to be in an actually pretty optimal skirmishing position, so see if you can slow them down a little bit more while I continue to get more of our troopers back here towards Rico's location. This is obviously the position where we want to hold out if we can. I'm trying to get these guys behind the rocks to the best of my ability here. A lot of them are on free move mode, which kind of makes it a little bit challenging, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think we can do it. Okay. So yeah, we're getting people back here. Alright, now we have sort of this scattered defense. So we have troopers sort of expanding from this position all the way back to where Rico is over here. And I think that's actually a pretty brilliant plan, because it'll slowly cause attrition on the Imperial lines as they come forward. And look, we're already starting to get some kills as these Imperials round the corner over here. Our troopers are doing a magnificent job of cutting them down in their place, which is beautiful. I'm honestly just hoping that we can make it out of here alive with just Rico at the very least. Some of the guys we left over here are still skirmishing with these Imperials. I know it's sort of a suicide, basically, commitment over here by leaving these troopers here, but what I wanted was them getting these 1 or 2 kills here and there, and again, it's the war of attrition, making it so once this Imperial army inevitably gets to Rico, they have as few troopers as possible, and in that sense we will end up the victors. So our guys up here on this canyon shooting down at the Imperials below. We've sort of swapped positions ironically with the Imperials, which is great for us. It seems like a few of our guys are still on movement mode free. I don't really want that. I'd rather take direct control of the troopers. Few guys on the ground floors below also getting involved in the battle. The Imperials have the high ground when it comes to these guys, but we have the high ground when it comes to these guys, so it's like a little layered cake going on in terms of power. And yeah, I think this will be an awesome defense from now on. We will definitely be getting quite a number of kills. They've got a very large amount of troopers left. Most of them are sort of derping around in the back, which is fine for us. If they're not attacking in full force, it means we'll be able to stop them even better. But we will have to kill every one of these Imperials at some point, and they are advancing at a fairly rapid rate, so it's only a matter of time before they get to Rico's troopers. But the more we kill in these early parts of the battle, the less of a last stand we're going to have to do. These guys here aren't in the greatest of positions, to be honest. They're all sort of chilling in front of the rocks instead of behind them, so I'm trying to sort of reorganize these guys here. Man, the Imperials are coming in full force right now. Gotta love that Utapau armor, by the way. I mean, it's just so cool. I know it's Utapau armor, but it's basically armor that is rock camouflage, to be honest. They're basically a bunch of walking Geodudes. Our dudes up here on this wall. Actually, maybe we could get some grenades out there. I'm just saying, maybe grenades from above. Come on. Kapooya. Nice. That was actually pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good. All right, let's see. Can we get... Oh, no. Okay. Those guys instantly got killed. The grenade from above strategy was nice while it lasted, but oh well. These guys over here on it, also in sort of a prime optimal grenade position, and the Imperials apparently thought the same, and my grenade got caught on a rock, and that guy's dead. Rip my mans. Okay. The Imperials are really coming at us right now. They are really heading our way. This is no bueno. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, God, get out of the way, dude. Oh, he's dead. Okay. Maybe we can get some more grenades from above, perhaps. That would be kind of sweet, because at the moment we sort of need it. We're getting fully smacked on right now. All right, cook that grenade just for a smidge. It doesn't need to be that long. And kapooya! That wasn't bad. Oh, if we could get a grenade right there. That would be legendary. Okay, let's see. Hold it for just a smidge. And kapooya! Oh my God, that guy's got 22 kills already. Wow, that was huge. Okay. Awesome. These guys aren't in the greatest positions. I'm saying maybe we send them forward a little bit. I know going forward seems counterintuitive, but where they were getting suppressed. But right here, they've got like this choke point over here where the Imperials can't really traverse these rocks over here. So they'll be funneled this way, and then the guys over here can do that pretty easily. There are some Imperials, by the way, just sort of stuck on these hills out here. I will do the enemy a favor by sending them forward. Oh, they're like stuck. Okay. They're not just being AI derps, they're stuck. So we will get these guys out of here. And y'all can be free and join in on the battle. I'm not going to be a jerk and force the Imperials to stay there or whatever. Alright, our guys up here, they're actually doing a pretty good job. I gotta admit. Do we still have that little force over here? Yeah, these guys over here on these rocks also never really ended up coming into contact with the enemy too much because the Imperials just sort of stopped. I'm wondering if we could maybe even do like a little flank with these guys. They don't have a lot of troopers, but maybe as the Imperials sort of trickle over this way and there's less and less of them, we could pop a quick kapooya on them and get some kills that way. That would be pretty sweet. Alright, our lads over here are doing a great job. It's really just sort of maintenance right now. It's, you know, too early to tell how our defense will turn out at the end, but we are doing an awesome job of just eliminating tons and tons of these Utapau troopers and just doing a great job here. Lots of skirmishing right around this middle section. And we're actually nailing quite a number of these Imperials and stopping them in their tracks, which is nice. And yeah, this little choke point over here that I was talking about earlier, it does seem to be in full motion right now. Very sweet. So we are sort of coming up on the end bit of Season 2 of Rico's Brigade. Season 1 was like 25 episodes, I think it was, something like that. And this is episode 18 of Season 2, so I'm sort of, you know, things are winding down a little bit, and I'm getting excited for the storylines to come. I think we're going to move these guys from over here now, and we'll position them on another place, because right now the Imperials... Oh, wait, how did that guy get there? Excuse me? Okay, he's dead now. Apparently the Imperials are sort of... Oh, I put them in a really bad spot when they were trying to attack right there. Okay, move out, move out. The Imperials apparently were rock climbing up here and getting to our troopers. There's one right there. So we're gonna reposition our troopers over here to a more optimal firing position, I think, because at the moment these Imperials were just sort of hugging the walls, so our guys couldn't really shoot at them. But if they're over here, then we'll get those nice side shots that we were getting earlier in the battle once more, and I think that will be a bit more beneficial to us. So we'll do that. And then just sort of more skirmishing in general. There's not too much maintenance we have to do. I think our troopers sort of have it. There's a few guys who are floating around on free move mode. I'm going to let them do their thing and continue to float around on free move mode because it's always kind of nice to have some dynamic troopers who can move from place to place, fill the gaps without me having to sort of tell them to. And I think that will actually end up working to our advantage here. Alright, a few troopers coming in real hot on this position here, and yeah, that's the end of those guys right there. It just turned out that the Imperials just got a little too close in that instance. Oh, these guys are just out in the middle of the open. That's a terrible position. Why don't you just get with Rico's squad over here. You guys, we'll work on the last defense a little bit here. They're not in the most optimal of positions currently. I think we can do better in terms of some of these guys. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, now everyone's sort of behind a rock facing the enemy. And then, of course, we have the final lines. Come nightfall, the Imperial troopers had retreated back to their lines to reorganize. Rico took this opportunity himself to redeploy his troopers along better defensive lines. The battle would commence once more, but this time under a shade of darkness. Alright guys, so nightfall has fallen on the battlefield. The clones have re-geared their troopers and backed up their defenses a little bit here, and the stormtroopers have reorganized and re-strategized for the coming battle. The game definitely did not crash. That did not happen, and this was all part of the plan. But seriously, Rico's Brigade has sort of reformed their lines here, and the Utapau troopers over here have sort of re-geared up and are ready to go. I accidentally just opened something. Hopefully that didn't mess up the recording. Okay, so let's just go ahead and press start now for the second time. Crashes are always super annoying. There's not a ton I can do about them. I hope you guys don't mind that I didn't just fully re-record the video, because then I'd have to redo everything, and that'd be a lot. That'd be a few hours of work. And I thought we were pretty far along. The stormtroopers outnumber the clones by about 2 to 1 right now, which I felt was about accurate to what was going on before. And I think we are in a sort of similar position to where we were previously. I think I mimicked it rather well. So it should be pretty interesting, I think, to see how the stormtroopers sort of pick up the pieces of where they left off before. They called a retreat, and now they're fully getting shot up by Rico's Brigade here. A few Rico's Brigade troopers going down rather early here, but for the most part, they're laying down a lot of fire on these oncoming Imperials. They're doing a great job of it. We're seeing multitudes of Imperial stormtroopers going down, but now they are starting to get their feet under them and really start to fire back and clap back at these defenders here, managing to wipe out the majority of the just sort of beginning defenses here, and they're moving back now towards the second line of defense for Rico's Brigade over here. We're seeing some snipers begin to round off. These guys don't have the classic DC-15Xs. This is actually a weaker gun. I don't know which gun it is exactly, but it's still, I think it's like a 2-shot as opposed to a 1-shot, so not as good, but still a fairly decent sniper rifle for the clone troopers to be using. Rico does have 2 of these MITR chain gunners here once again, because I wanted to bring that back because we didn't get to see them too much in the previous battle. We got to see them maybe get a kill or 2, but really nothing much, like I said. Alright, stormtroopers really managing to come forward quite nicely here. The nice part about this sort of canyon that they're going down is that it's got so much cover for them. They're so easily able to, you know, go from cover to cover, make it to where Rico's Brigade is without taking too many losses along the way. We see one chain gunner over here starting to open fire a little bit. He's already reloading. These things have a capacity of 200 rounds inside them, so the fact that he's already reloading, that means he's sprayed quite a bit. I don't know if he got any hits on that because he is quite a distance away, and those things are not accurate in the slightest at that distance, but it would be interesting to see if he did. Actually, we can find that out. Let's see. How many kills has this lad gotten so far? He's gotten 26 kills already. I'm telling you, these chain gunners are absolute beasts. But like I said previously, I gave him far less health than your average trooper. Also, the main line of Rico's Brigade troopers here just now sort of starting to round off their own rifles behind their sort of trench positions here. And these guys will be very, very effective because they just have a solid line of defense where they're going to be able to spray down the enemy. It's long enough where if one section begins to get suppressed, the other section can take over the fire for them. and they'll just be able to keep on rounding off fire after that. And we're starting to see, whereas the Imperials at the beginning of this battle, they were firing far more than Rico's brigade. We were seeing almost all red lasers, but now we're seeing a lot more blue lasers in there, meaning Rico's brigade is starting to keep up with the effect that the Imperial Utapau stormtroopers were having. And they seem to be clustering up over here in the left for the most part. A few of them over to the right, but it seems like the place to be is over here. I don't know if that will result in a good thing or a bad thing for them, because one or two well-placed grenades when they get closer over here could wipe out a multitude of troopers, but we'll just have to sort of do a little wait-and-see pudding for that, I suppose. But for now, they're just sort of stalling out on that far end over there, trying to pick off a few of the Rico's Brigade troopers that they're able to at the moment. Rico, of course, being way back here. Looks like him and his men are firing a little bit, or the snipers are. He's not quite in range yet. But yeah, the Imperials sort of staying behind this line, this figurative line right here, and they're trying to take out, I think, these guys who are closest to them, and then they'll move forward, because if they stay where they are right now, these lines of Rico's brigades minus the snipers won't be able to hit them. So that's actually a pretty smart strategy, is stay where you can while you can, and only proceed when you're out of troopers to kill. They seem to be targeting a little bit these troops over here. These guys are fully formed and still kicking quite nicely, rounding off some fire. I purposely positioned most of the snipers in the back lines over here because I thought that would be obviously the most optimal position for them to be in. And I think that's proven to be right. But never forget, the Imperials have snipers of their own. It's just a matter of if they're dead or not yet. This guy's got an MG. We're seeing some E11s. I don't see a sniper quite yet, but there are some out there who can respond to the Rico's Brigade snipers quite nicely, I do think. And we are seeing the Imperials starting to come forward a little bit more, taking cover behind these rocks where formerly Rico's Brigade troopers were taking cover from. And they're starting to get some more shots off at the clone troopers opposite them. Doing a pretty nice job here. Not too shabby at all. Some of them, oh, there's a sniper right there. Some of them taking a break to heal up. That's always important. Keep your health up. Do sort of an island hopping strategy where you go from rock to rock, and each time you're there, you re-heal up a little bit and make sure you're good to go for the next section of this battle. But I mean, whoever wins this battle, if the stormtroopers win, then potentially they could take Rico's Brigade's commander, Rico, prisoner, which would be a huge get for these stormtroopers. I mean, that in of itself could potentially be an end to the war entirely. If Rico wins this battle, the reward is not too great. He still has not managed to get back one of his most loyal and trusted and powerful leaders, Captain Rex. The Imperials, really, it's a win-win for them. They got Captain Rex anyway, and if they lose this battle, it's not the end of the world. But if Rico loses, he still hasn't gotten Captain Rex, and he's lost a substantial amount of troopers here, his own elite Rico troopers, the brigade of Rico's Brigade. Rico's Brigade. I don't know what I'm going on about. But he would have lost a substantial amount of troopers. He would have lost a substantial amount of money paying the smuggler to get to Captain Rex and then just being betrayed by him for that. Not to mention, he's now stranded on this planet himself. All of these LATs are completely destroyed. He's going to have to wait for some type of rescue. So it's really an abysmal situation for Rico, and the Imperials are set up quite nicely for the remainder of this campaign to sort of see what's going on, to play it cool and perhaps get the advantage finally on Rico. Regardless, this battle still hasn't ended, and it could really swing either way, I think. We're seeing the Imperials starting to march forward a little bit more again, reinvigorating this battle. We're seeing quite a number of red lasers, but I'm seeing the majority blue, so that does tell me that Rico's troopers are getting more shots off than the Imperials are able to, which is a good thing for Rico's brigade. That doesn't mean they will still win. Rico is starting to run low on troopers. A lot of them are getting picked off. Really anyone in the front here is dead, except for these three, who I could attempt to retreat, but they would surely die almost immediately. So I almost think if we keep them here, and then if the Imperials get close enough, we could maybe drive a through. I can't talk today. We could throw through. Oh my goodness, what is happening to me? We could throw a few grenades at the enemy. Oh my god, there we go. Nice job, Daly. You finally managed to get that out there and say what you were trying to say. But yeah, I think keeping those guys behind this hidden position here will be a better reward than trying to retreat them back and save them. Even if they do die, they will have done. So, fighting for the Republic. Fighting for the new Republic. These chain gunners over here and over here are still alive. They're not in the greatest firing of positions because I did that on purpose. They're sort of a last-ditch thing where if the Imperials do make it very, very close, in which case most of these guys would have died, then the chain gunners come in as sort of a last-ditch thing because they're too powerful to let them fire willy-nilly, you know, kind of like that. Either way, the Imperials are getting very, very close, but every time they go closer, they lose more troopers, so every step is really a risk for them. Each part of the ground is a number of soldiers that they have to expend just to get there, so really not the greatest of terms for them. They did manage to squeeze out a victory in the last battle against 55 and Captain Rex, and that proved to be very profitable because their whole mission was to capture Captain Rex, and they did manage to take the ship. However, Captain Rex escaped, but now they do have him in the possession, so honestly, that battle did sort of work out for them in the end, and they did manage to injure 55 and take the capital ship. So they do have one victory under the belt, so this could be a victory number 2 if they manage to pull it together here. And they certainly do have enough troopers to do it, I think. They've still got like 50 or so left, and Rico's brigade probably only has 30 or so. So Rico's still outnumbered here, but the choke point is proving much, much more difficult at this point, and so the Imperials are going to have to really step up their game. They're going to have to start to get more kills on Rico's brigade. They're going to have to start to play it a little bit more safe and try to conserve some of their troopers, and I'm not really seeing them do that quite yet. So it's their battle to lose here, and they are starting to lose it. They also don't have their army really optimized here. Only a small cone of troopers is really firing right now, while the remainder stays behind cover over here. And that's not the right way to play this, I don't think, because it's just not optimizing your weaponry and not optimizing who's able to shoot. Meanwhile, Rico's brigade, all they got to do is sit here and wait for them to attack. They've lost a few troopers here, but their barracks are still standing quite tall, and they're still going to be able to, I think, repulse what is now a weaker Imperial army than we saw 3 minutes ago. And yeah, we're really seeing sort of the downfall of these Imperials here, and I think this is turning more and more into a victory for Rico and his troopers. Rico will have managed to stop the Imperials in their tracks here. But I mean, okay, I guess maybe I'm talking too soon because there's still a number of Imperials here, all these guys here, so you know, I won't speak ahead of term, but I'm just saying the likelihood of a Rico's victory is increasing by the second here. The fire has stopped for the moment as the Imperials decide to take a breather, and now they are reinvigorating their attack, marching on forward here. Let's see, I'm sure the fighting will start once again very soon, and there it is. It seems like on the left side over here, the Imperials firing at Rico's troopers. Rico's troopers returning with an onslaught, basically a wall of laser fire coming at the enemy here, and just chopping a ton of them down right in their tracks. And it looks very, very cool, I gotta say. And I hope you guys think it looks pretty cool in this sort of nighttime battle where without all the laser fire you can barely see the troopers, but when the lasers start flying, it's almost as if it's daytime. You can see the troopers way, way more clearly in these brief flashes of light. I think it looks sick. It's like when lightning sort of illuminates a small section of the earth, and I think that is just a really neat thing. And this most recent advance from the Imperial troopers has resulted in way more losses for them. As we can see, they've lost probably half of their troopers in just this one single advancement here. They only made it a few paces before they were just completely destroyed, and now they're starting to sort of halt once more, and they don't have that many troopers left. They don't have the force to really proceed with this battle, and I think now's the time for us to take command of Rico's troopers once more and start pushing a little bit. We'll even use these gunners here and send them forward because they could be very effective, but I think if we sort of pinch the enemy right now while they're weak, we will lose less troopers than if we continue that battle going from where it was, and I think that's what we're going to try and do right here. These guys getting hit a little bit, but that's dope. Okay. Yeah, that guy's actually really, really close to death. Again, these guys don't have the highest of health. So, it's a little bit rickety with them. There are only a few troopers of the Imperials remaining here. A couple, 3 behind that rock there. They're taking a few pot shots at our lads, but we're gonna manage to take them out. Oh, okay. This guy actually had a sniper rifle, so he's a bit more powerful than I thought. Come on, guys. Oh, now we're getting shot at from up there. Oh my god, oh my god, guys. We crashed a second time. Note to self, never ever use this map again, because this is the most crashes we've had all month. This is terrible. Actually, I don't know if we've had a crash this month except for on this map. So really not a great map, I think, for recording videos because it just crashes so often. So I do apologize for that. There was only one stormtrooper left, so let's assume he died. Maybe he escaped. Who knows? Regardless, Rico managed to win that battle safely with a number of troopers left, though he is in a very precarious situation. So is Captain Rex, and things are not looking great for Rico's brigade at the moment. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment and subscribe if you did. I worked very, very hard on it. Thank you again to Pixelated Apollo. Huge thank you to him. It was so nice of him to do what he did for not only me, but this channel as a whole, for you guys, the fans, to... You know, he's just a cool dude, and really, really nice of him to take his time out of his day to help support this channel and bring some cool content to you guys, a nice little collab there. So I hope we can do some stuff maybe in the future as well, but thank you once more, dude. Either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. The support behind Rico's Brigade lately has been phenomenal. You guys are an amazing fan base, and I couldn't thank you enough for everything you've done for the channel. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, you guys rock. And you know, I try my best to read every comment on the newest videos. I try my best to respond to the ones I can. I try to talk to you guys in Discord and stuff like that, and I don't think I do enough because you guys are really just that awesome. And I just want to sincerely say thank you for all the opportunities you guys brought me in 2018. I know we're a month into 2019, but I'm going to try my best to bring the best content I can in 2019 to you guys as sort of a repayment for that. Either way, guys, thank you so much. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.